but the ladder is closed. And we need all our ladder companies and all our engine companies throughout the city to be available if there is an emergency. God forbid there is a major fire or a severe car accident, or if a crime takes place, or even worse, God forbid there's a terrorist attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, things are not looking good in terms of the negative impact that the vaccine mandates are going to have on the United States of America, predominantly in New York and California, especially when we're dealing with emergency responders. That is going to lead directly to a lack of emergency responders. There are thousands in New York, firefighters, police officers that are facing mandate deadlines. Either get the jab or lose your job. There have been thousands that have lost their jobs that are being put on unpaid leave, and that is going to result to not having emergency responders. And also American Airlines is having shortages. There are thousands of flights that have been delayed. People are being left stranded in different states. We're going to get into that tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drew Hernandez Live. My name is Drew Hernandez, hopefully one of your favorite podcast hosts here on YouTube. If you guys can do me a huge favor right now, we are extremely demonetized. We are throttled here on this channel. We need you guys to share this video right now. Copy the link, share it on your Twitter, share it on your Getter, share it on your Parler, share it wherever you could post a link right now. And also, guys, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, destroy that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification and toggle on the all selection. Just a quick announcement for those of you that love and support me and this show. Let's get this up. This show is sponsored by the DrewHernandezLive.com store, the DrewHLive.com store. We have some new merch up there if you guys would like to go support. We have t-shirts you could buy for your dad. We have women's clothing, new brands with new logos. Hold the line for those of you that love that. Stay free. Some sweatshirts and t-shirts. We got some based t-shirts and sweatshirts and the Resist Tyranny shirts. Some people are definitely going to love this stuff. Anti-censorship, that's my favorite one. I'm probably going to order that one and rock it on the show. We have them in sweatshirts. We have them in sweaters and t-shirts. There's the Think Before It's Illegal shirts. And also sweatshirts. So make sure, guys, to go support the show right now. Let's take this down. Make sure to go support the show right now, or we do super chats at the end of every single show. So if you guys would like to support me, we do super chats at the end of every single show. You can drop it now, in the middle of the show, or at the end of the show, guys. This is how you can support me and this show. We're extremely deboosted. We need you guys to keep us on the air. So thank you guys and every single one of you that do weekly, monthly. It is a huge, huge, huge help. Some people don't like doing the super chats. They like to go Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. The link is in the description below. So is the merch store link in the description below as well. Or shout out to the DH Alliance. For as low as $5 a month, you can become a member on this channel. Love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Go check out the new merch. Support Drew Hernandez. Love you guys very much. Okay, so we have to talk about this. First off, I'm going to play you this full video of a congresswoman in New York that is in front of a firehouse because as of today, there are a lot of firefighters that are facing the vaccine mandates. They're being put on unpaid leave because of the communist mayor Bill de Blasio is intimidating, threatening people, either lose your job or take the jab. This is not only happening with teachers, this is happening with police officers, with firefighters. These are first responders. Some of these people are 9/11 survivors or their families. This is a disgrace. Anyways, here's the video. This is going to lead to a lot of bad things happening in especially New York, but I mean, what can you do? Some people vote for this stuff and they want this stuff. I suggest people leave New York if this is happening to you, but here's the video.
The engine is open, but the ladder is closed. And we need all our ladder companies and all our engine companies throughout the city to be available if there is an emergency. God forbid there is a major fire or a severe car accident, or if a crime takes place, or even worse, God forbid there's a terrorist attack. We're gonna not have the proper staffing. That's just ridiculous, and it's so negligent on behalf of the mayor when he can easily allow these first responders and city workers to still continue to do the weekly COVID test to prove that they are negative. And so I once again urge the mayor to get rid of this mandate, reinstate the testing option at a minimum. That's what he should do. And allow these individuals to come back to work and do their job. And this is today. I believe this week it may get worse, because that is when the real lockout is going to occur. That is when the police officers and the firefighters are going to be put on unpaid leave. So the mayor and the city will lock them out and not allow them to come to work, even if they report to work that day. So again, Mayor, we ask you to cancel this mandate. We ask you to allow these workers to come to work. You can have the testing option if you want to make sure that they are negative of COVID. But these are the first responders who are out there every single day during the height of COVID. You didn't even give them the proper PPE to do their job. I remember going to the firehouses, the police houses. They did not have the proper PPE during the height of COVID because of you. And now you're going to say that they can't come to work at this time if they're not vaccinated? That's just, I think, a really big government overreach, and certainly not something a mayor on his way out should be reinstated.
Well, the mayor on his way out is a communist. Obviously, this guy believes in absolute government overreach. He doesn't care. This person does not care about bodily autonomy or freedom. Bill de Blasio is an absolute communist individual. But let's get into this story. For those of you that are unfamiliar with what is taking place, let's get this up. Reports New York City suffers from shortage of firefighters and EMS stemming from vaccine mandate. This is not good, America. This is not a good look for us, because if we're putting emergency responders out on the street, when you call 911, who the hell is going to show up? This is not a good look for New York. New York City is suffering from a shortage of firefighters and EMS personnel on the eve of the November 1st deadline, which is today, which requires city workers have at least one dosage of the jab vaccine, according to reports. A report from the New York Post said 26 companies of the New York City Fire Department, FDNY, city-wide were shuttered on Saturday as a result of the city's vaccine mandate per city officials. As of 7:30 a.m., this is the same congresswoman that posted this tweet. As of 7:30 a.m. this morning, 26 of the FDNY companies are closed, including 5 in my district, to NYC Mayor, that's Bill de Blasio, locking out unvaccinated firefighters. If someone dies due to a slow emergency response, it's on Bill de Blasio and his overreaching mandates. I hope this fool fixes it ASAP. The excessive sick leave by a group of firefighters because of their anger at the vaccine mandate for all city employees is unacceptable, contrary to their oaths to serve, and may endanger the lives of New Yorkers. That's a quote from FDNY Commissioner Daniel A. Nigro said, according to an October 29th tweet from writer Ginger Adams Otis. Firefighter shortage has affected the entire city and is not isolated to one borough or neighborhood. The New York Post reported no borough or neighborhood was spared, with the shuttered companies ranging from Engine Company 55 in Lower Manhattan to Engine Company 234 in Crown Heights to Engine Company 231 in Brownsville. Others included Ladder Company 128 in Long Island City and Engine Company 158 in Ladder Company 78 on Staten Island. According to information provided by this Congresswoman and Councilman Joe Borelli, who cited the Uniformed Firefighters Association, Borelli said the list of 26 came from an FDNY alerted dispatch to members. This is a really bad look, you guys. It really is, especially if you're in New York. But this is what these people do, and I'll give my opinion on this after I'm done giving you guys the full scoop. It goes on to say on October 30th, company closures reported by the Post accounted for 7.6% of the city's 341 engine and ladder companies. According to the outlet, Councilman Borelli called the number unconscionable and added the firefighters who are unable to work have all been tested within the week and are not COVID positive. And I doubt New Yorkers care about the vaccine status of the person applying defibrillators to their chest, according to the outlet. Sorry about that. We got it. So this is a huge problem. According to the Post, FDNY spokesperson Jim Long said the situation is not permanent and labeled the companies as temporarily out of service. Imagine calling 911 and getting a doo-doo-doo. We're sorry. We're temporarily out of service because Mayor Bill de Blasio is forcing emergency responders to get jabbed or not, and now they're on unpaid leave. So sorry, you're probably going to have to die now. The situation remains fluid, Long said. We hire manpower to get the company back in service or relocate other units to the area for coverage. NYPD's emergency service unit has called upon volunteer firefighters. It's the NYPD from upstate New York and Long Island to fill empty positions. Dude, it's like our emergency services in New York have an emergency. This is not a good look, America, I'm telling you. One man lives across the street from Engine Company 284 in Dyker Heights, Brooklyn, which was offline on October 30th. According to the Post, the 63-year-old resident named Vinny Argo said, "We are effed. We are going to toast like marshmallows," the Post reported. It's another sad day for New York City. Most of the houses here are semi-attached frame houses. You throw a match on it, and it goes up real quick. He added, per the Post, you need a quick response. Scary. This is what people don't understand. These policies end up destroying your life. Of the FDNY firefighters, the vaccination rate registered at 72% at the end of the day, October 29th, and almost 4,000 firefighters remain unjabbed, according to the Post. One Brooklyn precinct took more than 2 hours to calls Friday night, to respond to calls. One Brooklyn precinct took more than 2 hours to respond to calls Friday night, according to the Post. Now here's a story. Early Saturday morning, a young boy died in a Washington Heights fire, and his grandmother was significantly injured, Fox News reported. Robert Resto, age 7, died after a fire broke out in the building's superintendent's basement apartment. Firefighters responded to the call at 1:30 a.m. and were reportedly not affected by the shortages of firefighters as they reportedly arrived on the scene in 4 minutes, Fox News reported, citing an NYDN article. This is before, and now the mandates are now rolling out after this. So we will see what this actually ends up looking like now that all these firefighters are going to be out on the job, because that's an example of when they are staffed. And now when they're not staffed, what happens? So let's take this down. Listen, this is what I wanted to talk about with you guys because this is going to hurt people's lives. It is a bad look, and no matter what your politics are, these are the types of things that hurt innocent people. And whatever your opinion is on the police or firefighters or how they're paid or anything like that, the fact of the matter is when you are in an emergency situation and your life is on the line, you're going to call 911. I don't care if you're a defund the police communist, okay? Because I've seen it. I've covered the riots. I've been in Portland where emergency situations take place with these little rioting kids, and they have been in life or death situations, and I have watched Antifa dial 911, okay? I have watched them. I even have the film to prove it when I was in Portland last year. So I don't care what your politics are. When your life is on the line, you're going to call these people because you know that they are the last call that you could possibly make to save your life in that moment. Or you'd wish that your buddy beside you is going to call 911. Or what if you're in a high rise in New York, like the Congresswoman was saying? Number one, this is a disgrace because some of these New York firefighters they're obviously, heroes because they put their lives on the line. But some of these people, some of these firefighters, and I've talked to them in New York, are 9/11 survivors. They have families that survived 9/11. Some of these firefighters have generational families that stay in the business, if you want to call it that, for decades. This is a disgrace. Bill de Blasio does not care about America. We all know that. But how is it we go from 9/11, regardless of whatever your belief is on that? I have my own personal beliefs. I got to be careful with what I say on YouTube. I'll just leave it at that so you guys know where I stand on 9/11. But at the end of the day, there were firefighters who died in those buildings. They were murdered. Okay? First responders, the New Yorkers that were on the ground, it was devastation. So to see now, a decade, 20 years later, to where New York was in this place, to where our first responders were hailed as heroes because of what they had to endure. Now we're starting to see them being put out on the street because we have communist authoritative psychopaths that our mayors, like Mayor Bill de Blasio, that doesn't care about America, that doesn't care about tradition, that doesn't care about freedom, that doesn't care about anything that has to do with American values. So this is why they hesitate not to put out policy like this, even to the point of putting out on the street FDNY first responders that are possibly 9/11 survivors. You understand how much of a disgrace this is? Number one, I don't care what your politics are. That's a disgrace. Straight up. That should let you know everything you need to know about Mayor Bill de Blasio and everyone that supports these unconstitutional jab mandates. Okay? Number two, this is dangerous because now people are going to start getting hurt. Because if something goes down, right, it's the same thing with the defund the police. They want to defund the police, but they still want to call 911, right? So who's going to come and save you when you're in a life or death situation? When you're actually facing criminal activity and you need a police officer to come and save your damn life. At that moment, your politics are thrown out the window. I'll tell you that right now, especially for all my homies out there that have been in a life or death situation. You know what it's like when you need help. I'll tell you that right now. But also, to my second point, with firefighters. Okay, listen, I was in Chaz last year. I covered Chaz, I covered Portland. I was all over the place. And I always saw these Antifa, these radical communist losers that were in Chaz. They wanted to establish their own little autonomous country, right? That's what Chaz was. But anytime they had an emergency, they called 911. Because they needed EMS support. They called emergency responders in Chaz because they couldn't deal with it themselves. The reason why I dropped this point is because you look at the socialists, you look at the radical left communists, the self-proclaimed anarchists, these people claim that they are oppressed and that everybody else in the United States of America has privilege, but they use American privileges like the First Amendment to voice that they're oppressed while at the same time trying to dismantle the system itself. It's communist subversion, and it doesn't make any sense. They claim to want to take down a system that they need. That includes EMS and emergency responders. Now, take a look at this. That was Antifa and Chaz and communists and like political, in my opinion, domestic terrorism because they use violence to make a political point. That's literally the definition of terrorism. But now, look at the politics. This is now policy. This is policy. It's the same rhetoric. It's the same mindset. It's the same belief. Because these people want government overreach. That's what they want. And what Bill de Blasio is doing is he is willing to put thousands of people out on the street in the name of a leftist agenda. That's what this all is. In the name of a leftist agenda, because now they're rolling with the vax mandates, they're willing to put out anybody out on the street that does not comply. This is why Bill de Blasio did a press conference. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. Comes out and says, "Oh yeah, we got about we got this many vaccinations and this many people. We only had to let go like 9,000 people." He just views you as a number. He doesn't give a damn about you. Bill de Blasio just views you as a literal number on a piece of paper. Doesn't care about freedom, doesn't care about autonomy, doesn't care about your life, doesn't care about your children, doesn't care about your future or anything like that. All these people care about is whether you will comply or not. And if you don't, well, there's the door. That's not American. That's the opposite of what America is when it comes to freedom. Well, you might say, Drew, what's the point that you're trying to make? The point I'm trying to make is that these people are willing to do anything in the name of their leftist ideology to get it across and to crucify anybody that gets in their way. But now this same leftist ideology mindset, okay, these leftist political ideologies are now getting to the point where now we are in a lack of EMS responders in New York. So if you need to call 911, don't get pissed off. If you're a leftist in New York, don't get mad. I don't want to hear it. You got behind this leftist ideology, the same leftist ideology in Chaz, the summer of love, all these politicians, but they still call 911 in Chaz when they need EMS, right? It's the same leftist ideology in New York. All these lefties, these woke tards in New York that are all, oh yes, we get behind BLM. We get behind anything that's left or progressive, including Bill de Blasio in the jab. I don't want to hear you complain when you're in a life or death situation and you call 911 and ain't nobody there getting in time to save your life or your family's life. Yeah, Drew, that might be a little harsh to say, but that's the reality of what these policies are doing to you. Quite literally. Because you are a mindless lemming that lives connected to the hive mind and refuses to wake up to the reality that these policies, these authoritarian, unconstitutional policies, are going to end up hurting you in the long run. Oh, I could already hear the radical left saying, oh, well, we're just going to replace them. Okay, now you're sounding like a freaking communist psychopath. Anyone that disagrees with the state is going to get replaced with people that do agree with the state? And Donald Trump and Trump supporters are the authoritarian threats to the United States of America? Do you see how backwards you guys have it? I'm talking to the left right now. If you guys agree with that, drop a 1 in the comment section below, because this is where these policies take us. EMS shortage, firefighter shortage, police shortage. People just refuse to see what is happening to the country. It is being subverted and gutted on a daily basis as we speak. From the defund the police agenda to gutting the military to feminizing the military, having them more concerned with freaking queer studies and gender studies painting their nails than actually dealing with communist threats, foreign threats like Iran and China. That's where we're at right now. They're willing to put firefighters, EMS, out on the street because they don't want to comply with the jab. They put a political agenda over human beings. This is what I don't get about communists, all these Marxist kids. Listen, Kenosha, everything going out right there. All the riots that took place in 2020. You talk to these BLM communists, these self-proclaimed anarchists, which they're not. They're not. You ask them, how can you justify rioting in the name of a political agenda? Well, because, we put people over property. That's what they will tell you every single time. We put people over property. Okay, well, what about now? What about now? What about the thousands of EMS, the firefighters, the ambulance drivers, the nurses, the medical healthcare professionals, all these people? What about their lives? They don't matter anymore. Because you people are silent because you're willing to put a political agenda over human beings. That is fascist. That is authoritarian. That is not freedom. That's not American. These people have it backwards. Why? Because they're stupid. They're stupid. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. I mean, I know I get aggressive with it, but I have to because these people are a joke. You know what I mean? Like I just don't understand how New Yorkers on the left read this stuff and they just cannot see how this ends up destroying your livelihood. This ends up damaging you in the long run. What happens when the day comes you can't call 911? You gonna call some leftist social worker that's freaking been indoctrinated in a Marxist university? That's an Antifa cell plant collaborator? Is that who you're gonna call 911 for in the future? Oh, call in the social workers. What happens when your house is burning down? When your grandmother has a heart attack? I thought we were in a pandemic, Blasio. So now you're just putting thousands of EMS responders out on the street in the middle of a pandemic? Come on, these people are full of crap. It's a political agenda. That's why it doesn't make sense, guys. You ask yourself, they're just hypocrites. They're hypocrites. It's a double standard. They say one thing, but they do the other. It just doesn't make sense. Why? Why doesn't it make sense? Number one, because it's intentional. Number two, they don't care. And number three, it is a political agenda. It's not real. And Drew, what do you mean it's real? It's not real. It's actually happening. It's not real in the sense where it's not something that they actually care about. It's just a political agenda that they get millions of people to buy into on the radical left, and they keep voting for this stuff, and it ends up hurting you. You give them more power, you lose your constitutional power. I don't know. I just don't understand how all the lemmings in New York on the left just cannot see this stuff. Just cannot see this stuff. Or it's either they cannot or they just simply refuse. They just simply refuse to see this stuff. It's just a load of garbage. And guys, I mean, take a look at American Airlines, right? It is literally a joke. You take a look at American Airlines and it is literally a joke. The Biden administration, it's funny, isn't it? Oh my goodness. because of 2020 and the COVID and because of COVID. Isn't it funny how they blame the supply chain crisis on COVID? They don't blame it on the lockdowns. They always do this. It's like, it's because of COVID. So you people wanted this. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is how they think. They put us in a position, in a crisis. COVID, lockdowns, people are losing their jobs, losing their livelihoods. Trump fell for it, destroyed the economy. Okay? I personally believe Trump fell for it. And I have my own criticisms against him because I believe he fell for it because he went with the lockdowns. Okay? And then they got him to promote the jab. And here we are. Listen, I'll say this is they create a crisis and then they blame it on somebody because they need a sacrificial lamb or they just need an enemy to pin it on. And that's what they did with Trump. Oh, they had Trump all of 2020 doing the press conferences, him and Dr. Birx and Fauci looking like they're friends. These deep state authoritarian psychopaths, okay? All looking like they're buddies, all 2020, the lockdowns. Oh, it's only going to last 14 days. And here we are. Mask mandates haven't gone. It's gotten worse. Now it's freaking vax mandates. What am I saying? What I'm saying is these people, they put us in a crisis. They pin it on an enemy. So the agenda unfolds. And then when they get into full power after the election, okay, when they get into full power, they then begin to use the platform that was already set a year before by the Trump administration. And they go full authoritarian with it. Now, here we are in 2021, where they have taken that entire 2020 agenda. Now, we know this is an agenda, right? This is a global elite agenda that's been in the works. Alex has reported on this for decades, for years. But there are people that don't know this. They don't know this. Agenda 21, the list goes on. Lockstep, you look at the whole thing, right? And now it unfolds in 2021 where the radical left is in full power, but people forget just how much has happened in less than a year. In less than a year, the Democrats were saying, oh, we'll never take a jab if it's coming from Trump. Remember when they were saying, oh, Trump says there's going to be a vaccine? Pfft, no way, he's full of crap. And then here we are in 2021, the Biden administration rolls through. Everyone take the jab. You drive down the freeway, right? You drive down the freeway, you see the big signs. 8.1 million people have been jabbed. Get jabbed. Just propaganda on the freeway, and there's like no medical advice about it. That's propaganda. Literally, when you drive down the freeway and you see those signs, 8 million people have been jabbed in your city. Get vaccinated. It's like, well, why? Why should I? It's just there on the freeway. That's not normal. So these people have taken something that they once mocked and now brought it in 2021 and have used it and turned it into policy, an authoritative policy to push upon the people. And it's like the lemmings and the woketards on the left, they cannot even keep up with it. They can't. They just follow it blindly. Yes, Dr. Fauci, our great high priest. Yes, Don Lemon. Yes, we listen to you. We listen to you, Don Lemon. Lord of the homosexuals. You are the one that we listen to and bow our knee to. We watch CNN religiously every single night. And they don't even think these things through. They just listen. They obey. They just go with the agenda. They just go with whatever they're told. They don't listen about any of this stuff. I don't know. It blows my mind that we're in one place. They create this crisis. They put us in this problem. And then now in 2021, when we're having supply chain issues, when the economy is inflating on freaking steroids, they turn around and what are they doing now? What is the left blaming the supply chain crisis on? Trump. They blame Trump. What are they blaming the border crisis on? Trump. Everything. These people blame everything on Trump. When they create the crisis and people on the left are too stupid to realize that they're the ones who created it, and then they jump up on CNN, all the lemmings and the robots. Trump's the problem. Jen Psaki, Trump's the problem. It's Trump. It's Trump's failed. Like, are you serious? What do you mean? You guys are the ones that wanted to lock down the damn country. And Trump fell for it. So now we're in this position with supply chain crisis because they put us in the position and then they turn around and act like they didn't do it. And it's like people don't pay attention to this. It blows my mind. I know every single one of my viewers, the DH Alliance, all my fans out there, this isn't you. I'm talking to leftists and all the woke Wookiees and woke tards and the lemmings that they just go back and forth. And these Democrats, the radical left, and even the deep state Republicans, they depend on you to be so mindless. It's a type of person that they target. They actually have a name for you. You know what that's called? Politically, you're called a low information voter. That's what you are. Or a low educated voter. It's the type of person that does not research anything. They actually systemically, categorize people like that. They take a look at your age. They look at your educational level. So they know who to target. This has been going on for decades. It just blows my mind how people just don't see this. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm just living on a different planet all by myself. I really do. Well, let's continue. Look at American Airlines. Let's get this up. Actually, I'm going to play this video. I had a tweet that went viral. Jack Posobiec retweeted it. He's a good friend of mine. I love Jack, man. He's really helped me a lot in my career. So I covered the Southwest Airlines protest in Dallas a couple weeks ago. Remember when Jack put out a flyer saying there was going to be a protest and there were a bunch of flight cancellations? Southwest tried to come out and say, oh, no, it's the weather. It's the weather. It has nothing to do with the mandates, even though the day before the Southwest Pilots Union asked to stop with the mandates. Turns out that there were hundreds of Southwest employees. I was there with them, talking to them, even pilots, flight attendants, that were protesting the jab mandate. Now here we are with American Airlines. Hundreds, thousands of flights have been canceled across the United States of America. People are being stranded in airports. And it's being confirmed that there is an employee shortage. And I posted a viral tweet Sunday morning because I'm in contact with an American Airlines pilot's wife. And they are putting on a protest at the American Airlines headquarters in Dallas, Texas. I posted that Sunday morning to confirm, and she also confirmed as well. I'm passing the information to you guys because that's what I do. It's reporting that the rumors were a lack of staff, a lack of flight attendants as to why hundreds of American Airlines flights were being canceled over the weekend, even up to this very hour. And many viral videos started popping up confirming that. Here's one right here.
Just landed in Dallas from Las Vegas, and they canceled our flight as soon as we landed. This is the line just to speak to someone.
Wow. It's pretty bad. It's DFW, and DFW is a huge airport.
Still going.
Jeez. So these are people with possibly canceled flights, massive lines. The video is saying, for those that are listening and not watching the video,
apparently American Airlines canceled over 1,400 flights.
Yeah, so people are waiting for guest services. Probably to find out what's going on or to reroute. Okay, so it's not looking good. This is not looking good. This is why this is the title of this episode. This is not looking good in many ways. It's a huge line at the airport. Well, let's get this story up. Let's get some details here if we can get this up. Blaze Media. Shout out to Blaze. I love Blaze. Love working with them. Quarter of all American Airlines flights canceled this weekend because of additional weather and tight staffing. Those are the claims. So let's get into this. Nearly 1,800 American Airlines flights. Now I think it's over 2,000. I think when I started this broadcast, I think it was at 2,000. I think Elijah Schaefer, my good friend, just tweeted that right when I started this. So this is a little dated, but it's around 2,000. American airline flights have been canceled since Friday. American Airlines blamed additional weather and tight staffing for a quarter of all their flights canceled this weekend. FlightAware, a flight tracking site, said there were 376 American Airlines canceled on Friday, 543 on Saturday, and another 877 canceled by Sunday afternoon. That's a lot. That's a lot of moolah, son, for American Airlines. American Airlines has also delayed over 1,000 flights since Friday. American Airlines issued a statement to CNN to try to explain the massive number of cancellations. With additional weather throughout the system, our staffing begins to run tight as crew members end up out of their regular flight sequences, American Airlines said. So, weather everywhere is just the same, and it's affecting all flights everywhere. Just everywhere. It's all the same everywhere, and it's just affecting everyone's schedule, so that's why they're running low on staff. It's like, why can't these people just be honest? It's like, yo, we lost a lot of people because they don't want to get jabbed. That's what's happening. The airline claimed that 2 days of severe winds at the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, American Airlines' largest hub, reduced the arrival capacity because the carrier could only use 2 runways instead of the usual 5. However, Southwest Airlines had 87 cancellations on Saturday. United Airlines had 18, and Delta Airlines had only 2, according to data from FlightAware. So why is American Airlines the only one having hundreds of cancellations, but not the other ones? If the weather is so bad everywhere, you see how these people just expect you to be stupid? Oh my gosh. American Airlines chief operating officer sent a memo on Saturday to inform employees that the weekend will be challenging, according to Fox Business. Not looking good. The majority of American Airlines Saturday cancellations were caused by a lack of available crew members, especially flight attendants, the Wall Street Journal reported. American doesn't expect the issues to persist past the weekend, the airline noted. That 1,800 flight attendants would be returning from leave starting on November 1st, and over 600 new hires would be employed by the end of December. Oh, the replacements. Those that bend the knee to the regime and that are willing to comply to Big Brother. Let's take this down. Okay, well, let's dig a little deeper into this. Okay, well, I'm gonna take you guys to Elijah, because Elijah's like one of my best friends. He's like texting me this morning. We always talking. We've been talking for years. But let's take a look at because he was flying. Let me see. Elijah was flying to go be on Tucker's documentary premiere, I think, tonight on the J6 stuff. Where did he post this? Give me 1 second. Let me see. So his flight got delayed. Here we go. Let's get this up. So here's Elijah on the ground. He tweeted 2,000 canceled flights so far. And he also tweeted earlier that American Airlines finally gave me a reason for the delayed flight. We are still trying to find our crew. Elijah says, I've heard of rain, snow, and wind, but what kind of weather is missing crew? And here's when he first tweeted, update, flight is delayed. We asked the reason and they legitimately refused to answer. Said they were too busy to talk. Lots of intercoms claiming staffing and weather issues. Damn, this is some seriously bad weather. The weather looks completely fine out there. This is Elijah over at DFW. So anyways, well, let's go a little deeper, okay? So I wanted to take you guys to my Twitter. Remember, I told you that I tweeted this on Sunday because I'm in contact with an American Airlines wife's pilot, and she sent me this. I tweeted many reports of American Airlines flights being canceled, and I texted her and I said, hey, is this true? Just tell me the truth. And she said, well, the rumor is that it's due to the lack of flight attendants and staffing, and came out in the news a couple days later. Here we are. So a protest at American Airlines headquarters, is this up? at American Airlines headquarters in Dallas has been announced for Veterans Day on November 11th, 2021. So there's the flyer. You can even go to the website and check it out. It's all real. They even have a QR code. So it does seem to be that there is obviously a movement. And I asked, what is this turnout going to look like? And it's going to possibly be over 1,000 people. This is Veterans Day. At the American Airlines headquarters in Dallas. I will be there. I'm going to announce that right now. So this is all developing around American Airlines. Let's take this down. And, again, this goes to my same, I don't even call this an argument. This goes to the reality that this is going to affect your life. Biden wants to have a vax mandate on airline employees. So by default, people are going to say no, which is going to result into a lack of employees. And when you book your flight, you're going to get delayed, especially during the holidays. The holidays are going to suck for you guys with Biden as president. You think it's bad now? Gas was at $7 in California at its peak like a week ago? Inflation? There's delays with Amazon and shipping. Isn't that crazy? Some people's delays on their Amazon packages right now are as bad as getting it in January of next year because of the COVID restrictions that are taking place, especially with the supply chains. Listen, people, it's only been 10 months. 10 months. And this administration, this puppet administration, has been a disaster. Been a disaster. In some American cities and grocery stores, empty shelves because of the supply chain crisis. It's what are we going? They want us to be in Venezuela. This is not normal. To all the woke-tards and the Wookiees on the left, this is not normal. The Democrat Party is not the Democrat Party that you thought it once was. It's just not. And even aspects of the deep state rhinos in the Republican Party, it's just not. It's not normal that the most successful, wealthy country on the face of the planet is having a lack of food on their shelves in grocery stores. It's not normal. It's not normal. This country, this is what I'm saying, it's not looking good. It's not looking good across the board. It's not. Because these woke-tards keep voting for these people. They keep supporting these policies. They keep advocating for them because when you go to California, you go to New York, there's the freaking zombies with their freaking 3 masks on. That's the problem in this country. Is because when you send that message, when millions of people send the message that they're willing to comply with big government, what do you think big government's going to do? Say, oh no, we're going to exercise self-control right now and just not just completely impose tyranny on the people. Gosh, dude. It blows my mind that there's literally people that think like this. It's going to affect your life. For all of you woke-tards out there, oh, I love going to see my family. I want to fly over here. I want to fly over there. I want to have this same normal life. Isn't it funny? Life wasn't so bad under Trump, right? Whatever your opinion is on Trump, the economy was good. Life was good. Gas prices were down. You had the ability to actually probably even have the hope of buying a house finally, especially if you're a millennial. That's gone now. That's gone. Democrats don't want you to be autonomous. They don't. They want you to be dependent on the state. Why do you think they're importing millions of third world desperate people into the United States of America while simultaneously pushing against voter ID? Why? Because they want a 2-tier system. They want controllable people in the United States of America that are not going to piss and moan and complain about their First Amendment rights or even their Constitution. They want people that are illiterate that even a Constitution exists. They don't want people protesting. They don't want people autonomous in the economy. They want you dependent on the state. Look at Venezuela. Look at Cuba. Say, Drew, that's a little extreme. You really think that the Democrat Party wants us to go down that path? Yes! We literally had a self-proclaimed socialist running for president. That's where we are. We're socialism, communism, Marxism. It's even worse. Marxism is mainstream in the United States. This is not good. This is not good. This is not normal for the United States of America. And what this does, when all these people, the jab mandates, it's okay. Well, now you're going to have a lack of EMS, firefighters, and emergency responders. It's going to hurt your life, your personal life. Because a lot of people are like, oh, that's not going to affect me. It's not. Yes, it is. Why do you think politics is important? Okay, now with Biden in office, the supply chain crisis, the border crisis, inflation, the economy is dying. You're probably not going to be able to buy a house for the next 30 years if you're a millennial or Gen Z because of what Biden is doing. People say, oh, this is what I always say. I always tell people, it seems like the Democrats are masters, and even deep state Republicans. They're masters, right? They're masters at getting you so emotionally invested, right? With the so-called social issues. Oh, you get so passionate about, pronouns and homosexuals and LGBTQ and Black Lives Matter and all the social justice issues, while over here, Joe Biden and all the Democrats, while you're all entertained over here like a mindless little lemming, you're just, oh, look at this little toy, social justice over here, yeah. They have you all preoccupied over here. The Democrats and the deep state are over here enriching themselves with the deep state globalists. Their economic policies are taking autonomy away from you economically and putting you under the thumb of the state, and they enrich and empower themselves over here. While they have you entertained with all this social justice woke garbage, they're over here empowering themselves and destroying you economically. If you guys agree with that, drop a 1 in the comment section. I mean, this is just like what I see. This isn't like me spitting out or spewing a talking point. This is literally what these people do. And it's, I don't know, man. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. How ridiculous is this? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. Let's get this up. Southwest Airlines launches an internal investigation into the pilot who said, "Let's go, Brandon," over the intercom. We read that one more time. Southwest Airlines launches an internal investigation into the pilot who said, "Let's go, Brandon." It was over the intercom. Southwest Airlines is conducting an internal investigation into the recently reported event and will address the situation directly with any employee involved, the airline said in a statement. I think that was their tweet. Let me finish this real quick. After a Southwest pilot was heard to say, "Let's go, Brandon," everybody type "Let's go, Brandon" in the comment section right now to stand in solidarity with the Southwest pilot. After a Southwest pilot was heard to say, "Let's go, Brandon," an anti-Biden meme over the intercom of a plane, that airline has launched an internal investigation. Ooh. In a statement to Twitter, Southwest said that Southwest does not condone employees sharing their personal political opinions. Oh yeah, unless it's Black Lives Matter, I guarantee you. Southwest does not condone employees sharing their personal political opinions while on the job serving our customers. And one employee's individual perspective should not be interpreted as the viewpoint of Southwest. Oh, now do Black Lives Matter. And its collective 54,000 employees, Southwest is conducting an internal investigation into the recently reported event and will address the situation directly with any employee involved, while continuing to remind all employees that public expression of personal opinions while on duty is unacceptable. You know how many Southwest homosexuals I see always wearing the pride flag and all these political symbols? Oh, but they go after this guy. Why? Because he obviously doesn't have a leftist chant or political opinion. Yep. It's all about power with these people. The pilot said this during a flight on which an AP reporter was a passenger. She wrote about the meme and its origins for the AP and tried to speak to the pilot as well, though the locked cockpit doors posed a problem. Yeah, it's probably not a good look if you're trying to get in the cockpit of an airplane. I'll tell you that right now. That reporter, Colleen Long, reported that Southwest Airlines did respond to her query, saying that the airline takes pride in providing a welcoming, all this BS. Okay, this is how ridiculous this is. Let's get this down. I mean, I guarantee you, I would love to see if a pilot said over the intercom, "Black Lives Matter." Right? If a pilot at Southwest said over the intercom, "Black Lives Matter." Do you think there would be an outcry? Probably not. What do you guys think? You think there would be an internal investigation? If there was, you know what would happen? Black Lives Matter would show up to the Southwest Airlines headquarters and threaten them for saying the things that they just said about saying, let's go Brandon over the intercom. Now, was that a professional thing to do? That's a different conversation. But it's just ridiculous because these woke corporations are willing to promote leftist ideologies and give them a pass. But when it comes to anything that is not the hardcore radical left ideology, oh, that is just, that's unacceptable. Keep your personal opinion to yourself. Someone in the comments said if he said Black Lives Matter over the intercom, the whole plane would probably just clap. Right? They probably would. But this is just how stupid it gets. This is literally how stupid it is and it gets. An internal investigation for saying, let's go Brandon. It's just weird, isn't it? Because Southwest and American Airlines, they have private federal contracts with the federal government because they receive funding. So the moment that Brandon gets criticized publicly, oh, they have to conduct an internal investigation. Doesn't that just give you like straight up North Korean vibes? Not the North Korean people, but the North Korean communist state. You speak out against the leader, there's an investigation conducted on you. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm the crazy one, right? I'm the crazy one because there's cultural Marxists invading everything in the United States of America, calling for the destruction of America. You have Black Lives Matter and Antifa saying death to America, which the hardcore Muslims in Iran do that want to see the destruction of this country. It's like, I don't know. I guess I'm the crazy one. Anyways, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we are going to get into some super chats. If you guys loved what I said tonight, this is how you could support me and my show. I'm extremely deboosted. So if you got to head out, please share the video, smash the like button, hit the bell notification and toggle on the all selection and copy the link and share this wherever you could post a link. But if you're going to stick around, we're going to do some super chats. If you guys love what I said tonight, if you support me and support my show, drop a super chat right now. We're going to do some Q&A for the next 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's do some super chats right now. I truly appreciate it. But also, if you don't want to drop a super chat, let's get this up real fast. We have a new merch store. You can get a Hold the Line t-shirt or sweater or hoodie. I think a lot of people will like these shirts. I design all this stuff myself. So, I mean, if you guys like it, dude, awesome. I appreciate it. We also have, let me actually take this down real quick. I want to get this up fully. I want to take myself out of it. Let me see if I could do this. Actually get it up again. Cool. Yeah. So here they are. Is it up? Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so we have some Stay Free t-shirts with the red label logo, hoodies, t-shirts. It's white. There's various different colors. Some people like the based one, the base t-shirts. This one is the Resist Tyranny. It comes in different colors. There's red, there's white, there's red, there's white, there's gray, there's blue. This show is sponsored by my store, so if you guys would like to support me, here's the Think Tee. A lot of people, this is my favorite one, the anti-censorship t-shirt. This one's dope. I ordered this one, so I'll probably be rocking this one on the show. It comes in different colors. If you guys like these different colors, it looks good in different colors as well. And then there's the Think Tee and sweatshirt. This is the Think Before It's Illegal official t-shirt designed by me. Kind of looks like a skater shirt. It comes in different colors as well. So if you guys would like to support me, let's take this down. Please go check that out when you get a chance. Thank you guys. All right, let's do some super chats. We're going to do some super chats right now. And the link is in the description to the merch store. If you guys want to go support me, go cop a t-shirt, rock it, take a picture. I'll post it on Instagram, all that good stuff. My supporters, especially if you're new to the channel, love to buy my merch. So thank you guys very much. Especially for the holidays. Get a good shirt. Get a Hold the Line shirt for your dad. They love that kind of stuff. All right, we have some super chats. I have a super chat from Air to the Ron, a $5 super chat. We salute you. Air to the Ron says, how can this happen? Warren Wilhelm Jr. is his real name, and his And he set fluid wife Charlene McRae pumped the woke agenda in New York. Are you speaking of de Blasio? Yes, they're communists. Bill de Blasio's parents, self-proclaimed communist socialists, so it makes sense that this guy has no issue imposing authoritarian policies on Americans in New York. Isn't it just crazy where the Statue of Liberty resides in New York? New York resembles freedom. If there's a state that resembles freedom, obviously, all my Texans are going to say Texans. All my Arizonans are going to say Arizonans. But the Statue of Liberty resides in New York. And if you ask anyone in a foreign country what symbol resembles America to you, they'll either say A, the American flag, or B, the Statue of Liberty. And that's in New York. So it's just so sad to see how New York has been decimated by communists and socialists and anarchists, where freedom is now no longer the norm in New York. And it is tragic. It's not a good look. We have another super chat from Ryan Simmons. We salute you. Ryan Simmons with the $5 super chat says they're planning to put functional hybrid nanoinitites in food supply that also work like the jab. ACS announced it October 8th. Yes, I will definitely take a look into that, Ryan. Have to be careful with what I report here on YouTube. But I think Alex Jones was definitely reporting this on band.video. It looks familiar to me. YouTube is always changing their freaking terms of service. So whenever I see something new, I got to research it first before I report on it on my channel, because they will take us down immediately. So thank you, Ryan. I'm pretty sure Alex Jones has reported this. It sounds very familiar. We have another super chat from Julie Ann. And like I said, guys, if you don't want to leave a super chat, you could donate directly to Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal and leave a memo message, and I will read it on air just like a super chat. Or consider joining the DH Alliance for as low as $5 a month on the membership section of this channel. Thank you. So Julie Ann with the $2 super chat says, is 2 p.m. a new time for your live or just early today? I'm not too sure. We had more viewers today at 2, so we might try this again on Wednesday. If I ever go live, it's going to be before 3. So I'm trying to set a good time because my schedule, I'm obviously traveling. I go report. I do different stuff. So sometimes my schedule is always changing. And if I have to leave somewhere early, I'll stream as early as 2 p.m. I'll never stream earlier than that. So, or I just won't, and I'll stream the next day. So thank you, Julie, for that. We're trying to set the time to be 2 or 3. So that's what we're shooting for. That's my goal. So thank you guys very much. Let me see if we have any more super chats. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're trying to set a good time, for the show so people can have, that time of when we, go live and all that good stuff. So yes. And, people, it's just crazy how, and like I was saying earlier, man, I think what bothers me the most is how people not only deny that this stuff is happening, but they willfully refuse. They willfully refuse to even take a look into it. And I think that's the power of fake news media right now in this country, because they have gotten people so brainwashed and so depraved to just trust them. That's the scary part. You should never trust the media or politicians. You should always be questioning, is what they're telling me true? Is this actually real? Is this just a political opinion? You should always be thinking for yourself. But I think what concerns me the most is how people have gotten to this place, and this could even be conservatives too, man. You can't always think that these massive media corporations are always going to be telling you the 100% solid truth. And what blows my mind is how people not only parrot this stuff, but they just believe it like it's gospel, 100% truth, and they're unwilling to question it. And if anybody questions it, They defend it. They aggressively defend these narratives. And this is why it's just strange how they were calling Donald Trump a fascist and he's going to nationalize the media and Fox News is his Nazi propaganda machine. And, you're hearing all this garbage. They say the same thing about OAN and Real America's Voice. It's just the Nazi propaganda machine that Donald Trump uses. He nationalized the media. It's actually almost the opposite. CNN is MSNBC. They are in step by step with the Democrat Party narrative. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think in the comment section below? Like, even on the right with conservatives, it's never a good place when a politician has the media literally in the palm of his or her hand. It's just, historically speaking, that's never ended well. That's like when you get into communism or fascism or these authoritarian, totalitarian states where a central figure has the power of the media in their hands to literally control them. I'm not saying influence is different, right? Trump has major influence, but he doesn't dictate what is said. Some of these politicians in Washington on the left, they do dictate. They get what they want from CNN. And that's some dangerous territory. I think once you get into that territory, that you're getting super totalitarian, communist, hardcore fascist, especially when you bring the media involved and you start looking like North Korea, where there's an established media narrative. It's just pretty dangerous. Conservatives don't like when I talk like this. I just don't care, because that's how I've always viewed things. And it's like, I want the truth from the right, from the left, from the middle, up, down. I don't care. Behind me, I just always want the truth. And I think the majority of people in the United States are starting to feel that way too. And like I said, man, if just don't ever get into that place where you just trust the media, fact check everything, seek the truth in all things. Just find out for yourself. Because the media isn't always going to do a good job communicating the truth to you. I do my best to communicate the truth to you. And when I'm wrong, I publicly admit it. I'll say, dude, I got that wrong. This is actually what happened. And even if I do have a political bias, I tell you. Like, I don't care about that. Like, yeah, I'm biased here. I have a bit of a conservative bias. Like, if I say something, I have obviously a conservative bias here. If I'm dealing with another subject, I have a little bit more of a liberal approach. Like, I'm just honest. Like, I would rather CNN, Don Lemon, all these virtue signaling woke tards on CNN, they try and act like they're so unbiased. We're just right down the middle. Yeah. It's like, dude, you're lying. I would rather CNN just come out and say, we are a hardcore left-leaning news organization. So at least you know what you're going to get. But they won't do that. Why? Because they would rather lie to the people. Same thing with Fox. At least just come out and say, yeah, we obviously lean right. So you know what you're going to get. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think in the comment section below? Alrighty, guys. Well, we are going to head out. We got some stuff going on today. I'll be reporting later today. So if you guys want to go watch some of my real-time reporting, go follow me on Twitter right now, Drew H Live. Also, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and toggle on the all selection right now. Copy the link to this video. Please share it. Get the link out. We need you guys right now. And also, if you're listening to the rebroadcast of this transmission, consider giving a one-time donation through Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. The link is in the description below. We need you guys to beat the censors. We need you guys to support us, especially in this time of censorship. Or go check out the merch store. Go check out our new merch. The link is in the description below. Go cop a new t-shirt or a sweatshirt. Or consider joining the DH Alliance for as low as $5 a month. Hey, love you guys very much. I will be back on Wednesday. I'm actually doing a live show tomorrow night with Chrissy Mayer on her YouTube channel. I will post the link tomorrow morning, but I will be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. with comedian Chrissy Mayer. We'll be doing a live transmission together, so I will be posting the link on Twitter, on Instagram, maybe on the community section on this channel, so be on the lookout for that. I'll be live with Chrissy tomorrow night, and I will be back here on DH Live on Wednesday, Lord willing, if the world doesn't end. But if it does, you better freaking come to Jesus. So love you guys very much, man, and I will see you guys on Chrissy's show tomorrow or on Wednesday on my show. So until next time, America, stay free.